Time now is 6:46. You're tuned into Indus. It is BBC Radio Manchester and BBC Radio Lancashire. Now, there's been a 30% increase in calls to a domestic abuse helpline in the last 3 weeks of the coronavirus pandemic. The figures revealed by the charity PennyAppeal show an increase in calls from people who aren't from Asian backgrounds. Hinna Zafar is head of the hotline and is also a qualified counsellor. She joins me on the line now. Welcome to the programme, Hinna. How are you doing? You okay?
Hi, good evening. Yep.
So, first of all, then, tell us a little bit more about the impact that COVID-19 has had on domestic abuse.
So we already know that domestic abuse increases whenever families spend more time together. So at the moment, social distancing and self-isolation measures are really being used as a tool by perpetrators where they can exhibit coercive and controlling behaviour. Home isolation is really giving more power to the abuser in that it gives them an opportunity to call the shots. They're isolating victims and survivors from friends and family, and social distancing has completely shattered support networks, making it incredibly difficult for victims to get help or escape.
I mean, I know it's difficult. It can sound very much like we're generalising here, but what sort of people, what kind of people generally are calling the helpline?
So we are a Muslim charity, and so pre-COVID, we were getting a lot of Muslim callers. However, since the pandemic, we have callers who are from a non-Black, Asian and minority ethnic and a non-Muslim background as well, which really suggests to our team that mainstream domestic abuse services are being overwhelmed, so them calls are then filtering through down to us.
You've kind of touched on this a little bit, but maybe we can go into a little bit more detail. How difficult is it for people who are facing abuse to access services at this moment, especially with the current situation going on at the moment? How difficult is it?
I mean, it's incredibly difficult. Our callers are telling us they are feeling increasingly unsafe being isolated with their partners. Lockdowns really restricted individuals being able to access support or even flee, where previously they might have been able to disclose domestic abuse on their way to work or at work with a colleague or their employer dropping children to school or when they went to GP appointments. They could have told somebody that I'm experiencing domestic abuse, I need help. Whereas now we have to really understand that these opportunities no longer exist if we're all under lockdown, which is why services like our helpline are now more important than ever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously because people's interaction with third parties is limited, so therefore they don't have an outlet to actually get the information out. What kind of advice then are you giving to people who are suffering?
Well, we're providing a listening ear, information and signposting. What I'd like to say to those who are suffering is to give us a call so we can support them by exploring safety planning guides, helping them find a refuge, support with legal information or finances, and speaking to those as well who have particular concerns about their child contact arrangements during social distancing.
Are there different needs that you need to cater to when you're speaking to a victim who may call you from, say, I mean, you specifically mentioned a non-Muslim background or even a non-Asian background? Do your call handlers have to deal with them differently in any way, or is the situation or the roll call, is that the same for any victim?
So we have a specially trained helpline team, and they're able to deal with cultural sensitivities from those who come from ethnic minority backgrounds, particularly those from the Islamic faith. But anybody who calls in will be put through to an experienced practitioner, and they'll talk to the caller for as long as they need about whatever challenges that they are experiencing. Where we're not able to help, we will signpost that caller to a specialist service that can further support them.
So finally then, just tell us how people can get in touch then, in that case, with the hotline itself.
People can call in to our free phone confidential helpline on 0808 802 3333. Our team are available 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. We're even open on bank holidays at the moment. Our number doesn't show up on any bills, and if calling isn't a safe option for them, please use our web chat service on www.PennyAppeal.org/domestic-abuse.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Hinna. I really appreciate your time. Doing some really good work there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Wonderful. That's Hinna Zafar. She's the head of the Penny Appeal Domestic Abuse Helpline. She's also a qualified counsellor, and that number for you again is 0808 802 3333. You can also get more information on the Penny Appeal website. So if you're not able to call, if you are finding yourself in a dangerous situation, then you can go onto their website and you can use their web chat service via their website.